Hey folks, welcome back. So this week we are continuing on with the Eggin Wagon project, and by the end of this video we are going to finally have the roof done. Alright, so today the first thing we're doing is we need to do some work on the 259D. It seems that the bracket for our AC unit here, that broke, and then since that's off, we're just going to go ahead and replace the belt for that as well. My dad picked up the parts for that this morning, so we're going to see if we can't get those on. And it's kind of looking like it may rain here in a little bit, so hopefully we'll be able to get this done before that comes through. Hold on, we're missing a bolt. Yeah, we're missing a bolt here, because there should be a bolt that's going through there and through that unit, because that pivot's on there and that's not there. Yeah, we're missing something. I wonder if it's back under all that junk. Bunch of debris back up in there beside the engine. Okay, hold on. We need to do a little figure in here. All right, so for today, we are working on the roof of the Eggin Wagon. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to get some fascia boards cut, and those are what are going to go right on the ends of the rafters on the top and the bottom sides. And once we get those cut, those will actually come out over the end by about a foot, because we've still got two more rafters, they're somewhere over there, that we need to cut, and then those are going to come out a foot over the ends of the coop. It'll give a little bit of overhang on both the front and, well, actually, I guess that's the front and the back end of the Eggin Wagon, kind of protect it a little bit, help keep rain and stuff from coming in through the door and things like that. And then also, of course, since we've got our ends with hardware cloth up there, it'll help keep any rain and stuff from coming in those areas as well. So I actually have a cant over here, and I'm not entirely sure what it's from, but I've got it off here to the side. It's getting buried by some of my scrap wood. It looks like I need to do a little bit of firewood cutting again, but it just so happens that that is 7 inches wide, which works perfectly because our rafters are 6 inches, so that'll come down an inch. And then if I put the soffit board underneath there, that'll kind of come down over that as well and hide that. So I think 7 inches should be just perfect. So we need to get that rolled over here, get it up on the mill, and peel a few boards off from that. All right, so we got all of our fascia boards on both sides of the coop, and so now the next thing that we need to do is get our end rafters on here. So we'll have one on this side and then one on the other side, or other end as well. So I need to cut the angles on here. It's like I think 7 degrees, something like that. Get those cut, get them cut down to length, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna hold them up there in place while I nail them in. Maybe able to clamp them somehow. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Not where I want it. All right, so while we've still got a little bit of light left here this evening, we're gonna take this cant off of the mill and we're gonna roll this guy right here up onto there. I think what we'll try doing is milling our soffit boards out of this, and then we'll maybe be able to get purlins out of that as well, and then that's what we'll hook the roofing to. I'm not entirely sure how much we're gonna have left after we cut the soffits, but we'll see. All right, so today we got more new parts for this air conditioning pump condenser or whatever it is thing. And so once again, we're gonna see if we can't get this hooked back onto the 259D. There we go. All right, that's through. Now that pivots around there like that's supposed to. And then that, it's our bracket that broke. Put that bolt back through there. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a little spacer on each end in between our outer rafter here and the one that's in line with the wall of the coop. And that's because both of these, on this end, this one bows out a little bit, and on the far end over there, that one bows in just a little bit, and I want those to be nice and straight, nice and square with the rest of the coop. So that way, hopefully, the roofing will line up a little bit nicer on it. I've already got the blocks cut for both sides, so we're just gonna put those up there, nail them in place real quick, and then we'll start working on getting the soffits in place underneath our overhang. Alright, we're going to do a little bit more milling this afternoon, and we're going to cut more out of this piece that we already were cutting out of a little earlier today. And what we're doing is we're cutting some little strips of wood that are going to run lengthwise along the roof, and that is what the roof will get nailed into. Alright, well, it seems that my camera decided to take a little nap because the battery wasn't quite as full as it should have been before I started that time lapse. But we got all those on our rafters now. Hopefully that should be good. If it's not, I'll know better for next time, but we got all those on there. And so the next thing is to put on the roof. Now, I was thinking that I had enough of one style of this roofing to do the whole thing in it. As it turns out, I don't. So I'm going to have to mix and match two different types of roofing. The one kind has kind of 5 ridges going across it, 2 here, 1 in the middle, and then 2 on the other side. And then this other type is what we used on the siding of the chicken coop. And it's got like this rounded section, a rounded section in the middle, and then it's got a little kind of V ridge thing over on that side as well. So I think it'll work all right to mix them together. I'd rather have them all be the same kind, but it is what it is. Now, I've got a question for you guys, because I found this thing over there while I was digging around in the scrap pile of old roofing, and I have no idea what it is. I've never come across this before. I have no idea. So it's got like 3 different parts to it, and this was bolted together, but the bolt has kind of fallen apart. It's got that, and then it's got this center part, and I have no idea. So if any of you guys have any idea what that is, let me know, because I'm kind of curious. It's kind of weird looking. But anyways, back to the roofing. So this stuff is too long. I think some of it's 11 foot and some of it's 12 foot. So this needs to be cut down to a little over 10 feet, maybe like 10.4, something like that. So I think we'll try dragging all this stuff out of here, getting it piled up, and hopefully we can just kind of make one cut across through there and cut a bunch of them at the same time. I'm not sure if that'll work or not, but it'll save a whole lot of time if I can. Alright, so before we get started on trying to put the roof on the chicken coop here, I want to do one little quick thing here, and I've got a jack underneath here, and this is just to keep the coop fairly level, and that way as I'm building it, hopefully it makes it a little bit easier to keep everything nice and square and plumb and all that kind of stuff while we're building it. Now obviously as it's getting pulled around the fields, it's not going to be staying level. It's going to tend to twist and turn and stuff as it goes over the bumps, and that's just the way it's going to be. But at least for the time being, I'm trying to keep it fairly flat. And it seems that as I've been kind of walking around on it, it's shifted just a little bit. And I'm a little concerned that if I get up on the roof and start messing around up there trying to put the roof on there, that it may kind of go over the rest of the way. So we're going to reset that, get that nice and straight, and hopefully that'll be a little bit more stable while we work on this stage of the coop. Alright, so what I'm going to try doing for cutting these sheets down to length is I've got the top one marked with a line going across there, and then I clamped them together, and we're going to try taking the cutoff wheel on the angle grinder and just cutting through all of them at once, making one pass and cutting them all to length. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm not sure if they're tight enough together or whether it's going to be too thick, but we're going to give this a try, and if it works, this should go pretty quickly. Alrighty folks, well that is going to do it for the roof on the Eggin wagon. So at this point, we've only got just a few things left to get this finished off. And one of them is the door. We've got to get that on there. We got to get roost in, and we got to get some nest boxes in. And I think that's basically all we're going to try getting done on it for the time being. Now, like I mentioned, I want to try doing water collection system and stuff like that, but that's going to be down the road a little ways. But this is all we're going to be getting done for this video, and we'll save those other parts for next time. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.